Somewhere in America, right now, as you're listening to this, a stranger is walking up to someone's front door. They're not knocking. They're not ringing the bell. They're picking up a package that doesn't belong to them, tucking it under their arm, and walking away like they own the place. And here's the part that might keep you up tonight. In 2024 alone, 58 million Americans watched this happen to them. That's not a typo. 58 million. That's more people than the entire population of Spain. We're looking at a $15 billion epidemic. And the strangest part? The person stealing your package might not even care what's inside. Let me explain what I mean. When we think about theft, we usually imagine someone who wants something specific. A jewel thief who has their eyes on a particular diamond. A bank robber who needs cash. There's a target, there's a plan, and there's a payoff. But porch pirates? They're playing a completely different game. And understanding that game reveals something fascinating and deeply unsettling about human psychology. Think about the last time you bought a scratch-off lottery ticket, or if you've ever played a video game with loot boxes or mystery rewards. Remember that little rush you felt right before you revealed what was inside? That tiny surge of adrenaline, that anticipation. That's exactly what's happening in the brain of a porch pirate. Psychologists call this variable ratio reinforcement. It's a fancy term, but the concept is simple. When a reward is unpredictable, it becomes far more compelling than a guaranteed outcome. Casinos have known this for decades. Slot machines are designed around this exact principle. You never know when you're going to hit, and that uncertainty is what keeps you pulling the lever. Now, apply that to a cardboard box sitting on a stranger's porch. Is it a brand new MacBook Pro, or is it a 12-pack of paper towels? The thief has no idea. And that uncertainty, that gamble, creates a dopamine hit that makes the act genuinely addictive. For many opportunistic thieves, the win isn't even the item itself. It's the successful completion of the hunt. It's the reveal. It's the moment they open the box and discover what fate handed them. This is why someone would risk a criminal record for a package that might contain nothing more than a $10 pack of batteries. It was never about the batteries. It was about the game. But here's where the psychology gets even more interesting. How does someone walk up to your home, the place where your family sleeps, and take something that belongs to you without feeling like a criminal? The answer lies in a mental trick we all use, but thieves have perfected. It's just Amazon. They'll send another one. This single sentence might be the most common thought in the mind of a package thief, and it reveals a powerful psychological mechanism called dehumanization. In their mind, they aren't stealing from you. They aren't stealing from the person with the mortgage payment, the 2 kids, and the dog that barks at the mailman. No, they're stealing from a $1 trillion corporation that won't even notice. They're taking a tiny piece from a system so massive, so faceless, that their act feels almost victimless. This mental reframing is crucial. It allows them to preserve their self-image. They don't see themselves as bad people. They see themselves as modern rebels, taking a small piece of the pie from a machine that would never miss it. And because they've convinced themselves the victim is a corporation rather than a human being, they can walk up to your door without feeling what psychologists call thief's guilt. That internal brake that would stop most people from breaking into someone's house, it never engages, because in their mind, they're not breaking into anyone's house. They're just picking up a delivery from Amazon. Who can afford it? It's remarkable how creative our minds can be when we want to justify something we know is wrong. There's another factor that makes porch piracy particularly seductive. It might be the easiest crime in human history. Think about traditional theft for a moment. Breaking into a car requires tools and risk. Robbing a store requires confrontation. Even shoplifting requires some level of stealth and timing. But walking up to a porch and picking up a box, you don't need to pick a lock. You don't need to climb a fence. You don't need to be particularly fast or strong or clever. You just need to be there. This incredibly low barrier to entry creates a dangerous mindset. If it's this easy, it must not be that big of a deal. And what about all those doorbell cameras? The Ring cameras and Nest doorbells that were supposed to solve this problem? Here's the uncomfortable truth. For many thieves, they're not deterrents at all. Some actually find a perverse sense of power in being filmed and getting away with it anyway. They figured out something important. Unless the police have a name and a clear face, a high-definition video of someone in a hoodie is just another viral clip on a neighborhood app. It might get some angry comments. It might get shared a few hundred times, but it rarely leads to an arrest. The camera watches, the thief waves, and life goes on. Now, there are two very different types of people stealing packages, and understanding the distinction matters. The first type is the opportunist. This is someone walking their dog who sees a box on a porch and makes a split-second bad decision. They weren't planning to steal anything. They weren't looking for a target. But the combination of opportunity, low perceived risk, and that lottery ticket thrill in their brain created a perfect storm. 5 seconds later, they're a criminal. But there's a second type that's far more troubling. The organized professional. These aren't people looking for a dopamine hit. These are members of what law enforcement calls boosting crews. They follow delivery trucks in rented cars. They sometimes wear high-visibility vests to look like official inspectors. They target specific neighborhoods known for high-value electronics. For them, your porch isn't a gamble. It's a warehouse shelf. Your address is just a line item on an inventory list. The psychology here isn't about thrill or rationalization. It's pure, cold business logic. They've done the math, and your neighborhood is profitable. The real cost of all this isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in trust. When we start looking at every passing car with suspicion, when we hesitate to leave packages for even 5 minutes, when we install cameras and check apps and coordinate with neighbors about who's home and who isn't, something important has been lost. We lose what some call front porch culture, that sense of community where you could leave your door unlocked, where you knew your neighbors, where a package on a doorstep was just a package, not a liability. The porch pirate doesn't just steal boxes. They steal peace of mind. They steal that comfortable feeling of home being a safe place. But understanding the psychology gives us tools to fight back, and it's probably not the tools you'd expect. The most effective deterrent isn't a camera, it's invisibility. Lockboxes, secure delivery locations, having packages sent to a workplace or pickup point, using services that place deliveries inside your garage. These solutions work because they remove the opportunity entirely. You can't steal what you can't see. There's also what researchers call the social deterrent, signs that indicate neighbors are watching, active community involvement, even just the sense that someone might walk outside at any moment. These are often more effective than any technology. Why? Because thieves fear human confrontation more than they fear a lens. A camera can be ignored. A neighbor walking out their front door cannot. And finally, something surprisingly simple: humanizing your space. Personalized doormats, wreaths on the door, signs of life and care. These small touches remind the opportunistic thief that this is a home, not a shipping dock. It makes the dehumanization trick harder to pull off. The porch pirate is, in many ways, a perfect symbol of our time. They exist in the gap between our desire for convenience and the reality of human nature. We wanted everything delivered to our doors, and most of the time, it works beautifully. But that same convenience created an opportunity that some couldn't resist. A crime so easy, so anonymous, so psychologically justifiable that millions of people have decided the risk is worth it. They're not just stealing packages, they're exploiting a system. And until we change the math in their heads, until we make the risk outweigh the reward, the hunt on our doorsteps will continue. But at least now, you understand who's hunting.